And now taking a look at some court news out of Henry County, Virginia, a murder case involving 4 people, then resulting in the shooting death of a woman named Pamela Morris, came to a close in Henry County Circuit Court. According to the Martinsville Bulletin, on Tuesday, September the 11th, 30-year-old Casey Lynn Rogers of Roanoke, Virginia, was sentenced to an active prison term of 60 years and ordered to pay $9,907 in costs for the first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, grand larceny of Pamela Morris's vehicle, grand larceny of a firearm, and possession of a firearm by a violent felon. A jury returned guilty verdicts against Rogers at trial back in December, and she's been incarcerated in the Henry County Jail awaiting sentencing since that time. Pamela Morris was the wife of retired Henry County Sheriff's Office investigator David Morris. Testimony at trials involving David Morris, Colin Joshua Russell, and Casey Lynn Rogers revealed a plan to murder Pamela Morris that was made and executed. Tana Fitzgerald, who was also charged in the case, never made it to trial. That's because she overdosed on blood pressure medication while in the Henry County Jail and died before her trial date. Evidence presented at trial indicated Tana Fitzgerald and David Morris's girlfriend was David Morris's girlfriend, and Fitzgerald had attempted to cause Pamela Morris to overdose on heroin and nitroglycerin by spiking Pamela Morris's soft drink. Evidence then pointed to Fitzgerald soliciting the help of Casey Rogers and Colin Russell to kill Pamela while David Morris was at work to make the crime look like it was part of a burglary. Henry County Commonwealth's attorney Andrew Nestor explained that text between David Morris and Tana Fitzgerald the night before and on the morning of Pamela Morris's death established the murder plot. Although Rogers, Russell, and Fitzgerald indicated to police that they handled the murder weapon, recorded phone calls between Russell and Rogers played during Rogers' trial pointed to Fitzgerald as the person who shot and killed Pamela. Nestor explained to the jury that regardless of who pulled the trigger, a person involved in a crime where a murder was committed could still be convicted of the murder. Rogers maintained in her answers to police and her testimony to the jury that she remained outside the house and heard 2 muffled shots that came from inside. The next days, Rogers, Russell, and Fitzgerald were all found in Franklin County, where Russell had spray painted Pamela Morris's stolen Jeep. The murder weapon was also found on the property. Colin Russell was convicted of an amended charge of second-degree murder and an amended charge of conspiring to commit second-degree murder, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, grand larceny of a firearm, grand larceny of a motor vehicle, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. He was sentenced to 90 years with 35 years suspended and ordered to pay $14,264 in restitution and costs. David Morris was convicted of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder and was sentenced to 60 years with 30 years suspended and ordered to pay $13,310 in restitution and costs. Tana Fitzgerald was charged with first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. The charges against Fitzgerald were dismissed when she died. Casey Lynn Rogers was sentenced to 108 years with 48 years suspended for her involvement in the crime, bringing the murder case of Pamela Morris to a close. Now, more details about this case can be found in the Martinsville Bulletin. You can visit their website, martinsvillebulletin.com.